It's as if the person I loved has disappeared, leaving only fragments of their essence behind. You've become a stranger to me, and it's hard to accept that we're no longer the same people we once were. I look at you and wonder when you started to feel so unfamiliar. Did we both change or just you? There's a sadness in my heart as I realize the person I once knew is gone, replaced by someone I can barely recognize. You're still here, but it feels like I've lost the person I once held so close. I never thought I'd feel like this, but now, when I look at you, I'm filled with a sense of distance I can't explain. You've evolved into someone unrecognizable, and I'm left with only memories of who you once were. It's hard to believe that the person I knew has become a stranger, someone I can no longer reach. I try to find you in the person standing before me, but it feels like I'm searching for a ghost. You look so unfamiliar now, and I can't help but wonder if I'll ever truly know you again. It's as if you've become a stranger, and no matter how hard I look, I can't seem to find the person I once knew. I try to hold on to the memory of you, but every time I look, it feels like you're slipping further away. You've become so different. It's almost like I'm seeing you for the first time, but with no connection. I used to feel so connected to you, but now it's as if we're two completely different worlds. Your face is still the same, but your soul feels distant and unfamiliar. I thought time would bring us closer, but it feels like it's pushed us further apart, turning you into someone I don't recognize. There are moments when I look at you and wonder where the person I knew went, as if you've become a whole new being. It's strange how someone can look so familiar yet feel so far away, like I'm looking at a stranger with your face. You've changed so much that I can barely trace the person I once loved within you anymore. Every day, I feel like you're slipping further from me, and the person I once knew is becoming a distant memory. It's heartbreaking to watch you transform into someone I can no longer recognize, and it makes me question everything we had. It's as though the person I knew has vanished, and I'm left trying to understand who you've become. I search for the warmth and familiarity I once knew in you, but all I find is coldness and distance. I can't help but wonder where the connection we once had went, now that you've become someone I don't recognize. You've become so different, and I'm struggling to understand if this is who you truly are now, or if I've lost my way. The change in you is so vast that it feels like I'm meeting someone completely new, and it hurts because I miss who you were. I used to understand you so well, but now I'm lost in your transformation, wondering where we went wrong. I look at you and see someone who shares your face, but the person inside seems like a stranger to me. I never thought you would become someone I couldn't recognize, and yet here we are, standing on opposite sides of a divide. Time has passed, and now when I look at you, it's as if I'm searching for someone who doesn't exist anymore. I try to find the person I once knew in your eyes, but all I see is a stranger with the same features. You've evolved into someone so foreign to me that I no longer know how to bridge the gap between us. Every time I look at you, I feel like I'm standing next to someone who is both so close and so far at the same time. I thought we would grow together, but instead, you've become someone I can hardly recognize, and it leaves me heartbroken. You've changed so profoundly that even though you're standing right in front of me, I feel a distance between us that's impossible to close. I wonder if you even recognize yourself in the person you've become, because I can't find the person I used to know. I used to know your every move, your every thought, but now I can't even comprehend the person you've become. I see you now and wonder if we've both transformed so much that we've become strangers to each other. It feels like I'm trying to hold on to something that's already gone, like the person I knew has slipped away from me. I used to be able to look at you and know exactly what was going on in your heart, but now it's like I'm looking at a different person entirely. The person I once knew feels like a dream fading away, and all I can do is watch as you become a stranger. I don't recognize the person you've become, and it's hard to reconcile the memories I have with the reality in front of me. There are moments when I want to reach out and find the you I once knew, but it feels like you're slipping through my fingers. I used to feel so close to you, but now it's as if we've drifted so far apart that I no longer know how to find you. Sometimes the person you knew so well fades into someone new, and you're left wondering how you ended up so far apart. You changed so gradually that it's hard to pinpoint when I lost you or when you stopped being someone could recognize. I never imagined how distant we would become, but now every encounter feels like seeing a stranger. You've become a version of yourself so foreign to me, it's as if the person I knew never existed. How did we go from being so close to feeling like I don't even know you anymore? I search for the familiar in you, but all I see are the traces of someone I once knew. Our paths have shifted so much that I no longer recognize the person standing before me. Sometimes the person you love morphs into someone unrecognizable, and you wonder when it all changed. The distance between us isn't just physical, it's the emotional gap that makes me feel like you're a stranger now. I stand in front of you, trying to find the person I once knew, but all I see is a reflection of someone else. The version of you that I loved is slipping away, replaced by a person I can hardly understand. I look at you, searching for the past, but all I find is a stranger staring back. The person I thought I knew is vanishing, and with each passing day, you feel less and less like the person I once adored. I never thought I'd say this, but I'm starting to feel like I'm falling in love with a stranger. You've become someone I no longer recognize, and I can't tell if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You changed in ways that took me by surprise, and now I find myself struggling to catch up to who you've become. I look into your eyes and try to find the soul I once connected with, but it feels like you've drifted too far away. We've become two different people, and it's almost like we never shared the same life at all. The more I look at you, the more it feels like we've grown apart in ways I didn't expect. When did we start looking so unfamiliar to each other? Was it a slow shift, or was it sudden? It's as if we're strangers now, passing each other without ever truly seeing each other's souls. I once thought we shared everything, but now I feel like we've become two separate worlds. The distance between us isn't just in miles, it's in who we've become and how we've grown apart. You look so different now, not in appearance, but in the way you move through life. I used to know your every thought. Now I'm left wondering if I ever truly understood you at all. The person I once knew is slipping through my fingers, and I'm left with only the shadow of who you used to be. In your eyes, I see the same face, but it's no longer the one I remember. The more you change, the less I recognize the person standing in front of me. I thought I knew you, but now I'm left trying to catch up to who you've become. It's funny how time can change someone so completely, leaving behind only memories of who they used to be. When did we start to feel so distant? I can hardly find the person I once knew. You look so unfamiliar now, like someone I met once in a dream, but never truly knew. It's as if you've become a stranger, and I'm left trying to find traces of who you once were. You've changed in ways I didn't expect, and now I'm struggling to recognize you, not just in appearance, but in essence. The person I knew is no longer here, replaced by someone who feels so unfamiliar, like a ghost in their own skin. I try to reach for the person I once loved, but they're slipping further and further away. It's heartbreaking to see the person you once knew fade into someone so unrecognizable. I'm staring at you, but all I see is a stranger, someone I can't connect with anymore. I never thought I'd feel this way, but you've become someone I can hardly even recognize. We've changed so much that I wonder if we'll ever find a way back to the connection we once had. I feel like I'm holding on to memories of you, but they're slowly dissolving into someone else's reality. You look so unfamiliar, and I can't help but wonder when we stopped being so close. I thought I could love you forever, but now I'm not even sure if I know you anymore. You look different, not in appearance, but in how you carry yourself, as if you've become someone else entirely. You've changed so much that I feel like I'm living with a stranger, even though you're right in front of me. I used to see us as two halves of a whole, but now you feel like a distant memory of someone I thought I knew. The more I look at you, the more it feels like I'm searching for a person who no longer exists. There's a distance between us now, and it feels like you've become someone else entirely. I remember the days when I could see your soul in your eyes, but now they seem so far away. You've transformed into someone I can barely recognize, and I'm left wondering where I went wrong.